Okay. Just finishing getting set up here. How is everybody today? Hope everybody's doing alright. We are fucking melting again. Our heat warning today is for heat index values of up to 120. Last night the warning was 118. I guess they decided to stick those extra 2 degrees in there. And we have that for the next 3 days. I'm like, excuse me? Oh, I don't think so. Not a fan. Really not a fan of this. Yeah, we'll go with this one. We don't need a whole lot. Alright. So, picking up where we left off yesterday. We were working on filling in the blackness of our canvas down and through here. Just gonna put a little dab of water on my hand just to make this roll up a little bit easier. I'm kind of surprised Stream Elements is so far behind. Even Stream Elements is like, nope, nope, nope. We're not doing the thing. It needs to do the thing though. Got my screen so scrunched I can't even see all my emotes. Alright, let's see if we can spur Stream Elements into joining us here today. So, before we fully dive in, for those that are new here, we are doing needle felting following Bob Ross tutorials. We are following the 3rd season of The Joy of Painting. And we are... That's not how you spell that. Doing episode 8 currently. There is the link to episode 8. We're going to go ahead and pin that in the chat. And maybe Stream Elements will join us today? The Stream Elements not in the chat. They are in the chat. They're like, fuck this shit. Okay, well, did it do the thing over here? No. It didn't do my tweet yesterday either. What? The Stream Element's been blocked. Are we no longer connected? That is interesting. As to why that didn't happen. Huh. That is crazy. Has it not been doing the tweets all this time? It was supposed to be auto-tweeting. Well, if it's not gonna do the thing, then I guess we're gonna have to do the thing. Well, fine then, Stream Elements. I don't know what your damn deal is, but think they're mad because I won't take them up on any of the sponsorships they keep sending me. I'm like, no. I don't wanna. Alright, well, anyhow. So we've got the link now up on Twitter. Now that I know it's not doing the thing, I'm gonna have to go back and do the thing. I thought it had been doing the thing. Apparently not. Alright. Anyway. So we've been following along with the tutorials for season 3, episode 8 of The Joy of Painting. So this one is called Nightlight. I don't know if it's the only one he's done with a lighthouse. It's quite possible that it is. It is very possible. It is the only one that I remember seeing him do a lighthouse in. He doesn't do like a shit ton of seascapes. He does more mountains than seascapes, but I don't really remember seeing all that many lighthouses on the seascapes that he has done. I'll tell you, it was so hot in this room last night. Like, our room was the worst room in this whole damn house. Ugh. Gross. There was not much of a difference between our room and outside. At one point, I was convinced it had to be about 90 in our room. Tonight, I have to make cupcakes. At some point. Husband's birthday is tomorrow. Oh no. Oh, there it is. I forgot I had fuzz sitting on there. And I'm like, wait, where the fuck did it go? Like, oh no. The fuzz ran away. Alright. I know I'd been trying to keep this level, but at this point we are getting close enough to the bottom here where I think we're okay to just kind of work our way across at this point. Okay. Let's just kind of lift that guy up. You know what? We're gonna turn him I haven't turned him in a little bit. Working a slightly different spot now on the mat. Okay. That into there. So I might have to get up a couple of times just to check on food or take the dog out. We really didn't sleep last night, or this morning even. I was having a bit of insomnia. Husband was really having insomnia thanks to his anxiety. I was just hot and couldn't sleep. He was just in an anxiety-ridden mess. Not sure if it's the current heat wave that's doing it or what, but he said he fell asleep briefly, so maybe for like a half an hour or so, and then woke up from a panic attack. And came back in our room after he could not get back to sleep in the other room, and then was just awake. And he checked the time and he's like, I might as well just take your mom to the store now before it gets any later or any hotter. And then he came back, and I thought he sat down at his computer, and when I got up, he's gone. He must be in the bedroom asleep. I don't want to open the door and check because that door sticks really bad. So whenever I open it, I have to lean all my weight into it, and it makes this god-awful noise when it opens, and it jars him awake. His wallet's here and the keys are here. I haven't stuck my head outside. I didn't want to burst into flames. So I'm pretty sure the car's here, if his wallet's here. So I'm pretty sure he finally went to go fall asleep. I messaged him, but he didn't answer me, so pretty sure he's sleeping. So since he's asleep, I might have to go deal with Momo. I haven't seen Momo since I got up, so I think he's like in with my mom. Everybody's just missing. I haven't laid eyes on Momo since like 6 a.m. I imagine he's in with her. So I need to make his birthday cupcakes tonight. Hopefully I'm awake enough to do it by the time it cools down a little bit. I'll tell you, my ass is dragging right now. Sitting here fucking sweating already. I had no notes telling me not to cook dinner today, but what I had pulled out of the freezer the other night, I have to cook it today, so there's kind of a I have to situation, or we're gonna have to throw out the stuff, which I don't want to do. If I don't have to. Okay. Kind of feel like I need to go and check on that food. Actually, I did check on it a few minutes ago. Let me do that. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry about that. I get nervous when I can smell it cooking, so I think it's usually a good thing, but I was afraid it was boiling over, and I was like, oh fuck, I should probably go check on that. But we seem to be okay. I turned it down just a little bit. Hopefully that will be okay. Alright. So we're gonna have some overlapping here. Okay. Do have a thin spot right there, and I thought I had fixed it, but I wasn't very confident that I had fixed it. I was hoping that just kind of pushing the fluff in that direction would have done it. It did not. Sorry. Lost track of my scissors. Not the skizzers, no! Alright. Let's go here. Did Musk block stream elements from tweeting? Or am I in shadow Twitter jail? I see my tweet from Saturday night where I physically posted that the husband was canceling his stream last night. Well, Saturday night, because of our friend showing up. I saw that went through, but the last time Stream Elements tweeted was, the 14th? 12th? I think? I'm very confused. Because it had been posting in chat all this time. And I don't know what its effing problem is. I swear, if it's one of those fucking things where it's, oh, you have to subscribe to X Premium, I'm just gonna lose my shit. I mean, like, we're broke bitches out here. That's why we liked this platform. Because we're broke bitches. We will stop using the thing before we pay for something that we got for free previously. I can tell you that much. We will find another way. And that does explain a couple of things, I will say. Ooh. So these, my hands swell, so these little finger protectors are a little tight on my fingers. But today they feel a little especially tight. I'll tell you, I really need to put the recycling out for, like, I need to get out of the house, but I don't think we're gonna be putting recycling out on the curb this week. It's too damn hot. Like, it's supposed to remain this disgustingly hot. For the rest of the week, pretty much, or at least through Wednesday. They've got heat advisories lined up already through Wednesday. And I'm just kind of mystified. I'm like, wow, we're putting them out that early, huh? I mean, school started last week. Just having visions of those one teachers that are insisting that the kids be outside running around at recess, and I'm like, you understand there's a heat warning, right? And like the playground equipment might cause the children to get like 3rd-degree burns, right? In the 10, 11 years that we've lived here, I've never seen a heat warning for up to 120-degree feels likes, and I'm just like, oh my god. I was telling Russell, I remember when I was little, not that little, maybe that little, younger, grade school, there we go. I remember that we went to my aunt's house one time to use her pool because it was so hot. She said we could come over. And we had those stupid cardboard sunblock thingies that you would put in the windshield or whatever. And it was hot. And I can't remember if they put them up or not. But I do remember we might have like left the windows closed on the car. It was sitting in direct sun. Because her driveway had no trees. And when we went to leave and get back in the car, the little plastic slats that went over the like AC vents had melted in the middle, so there was kind of like all drooped down, and it looked like a melted crown that somebody just kind of ran their finger down and created kind of like a V. And I remember, I think we had a Toyota at that time, and I'm like, I hope our air vent doesn't melt out there in the heat. And he goes, like, maybe you ought to put the car back in the carport in the shade. It's not gonna do a whole hell of a lot, but I mean, there's nothing we can do for your mom's car. We only have the one carport. Her car is in the backyard, though. The backyard has a bit more shade. I mean, it's not gonna do much for the heat, but I mean, it might not be quite as bad back there. It depends, because the backyard has sun for a little bit. Like the morning, it's a little bit shady. And then part of the afternoon, though, it's kind of sunny back where the car is. And I'm still not sure when we're expecting her. The last time Russell talked to her, there was talk of October. But, you know, nobody really knows if that's correct until she shows up. And I was like, well, wait, are they bringing the RV here? Because we have a hole that we have to fix in the backyard. We have to, like, get a bucket of dirt or something. Take some of our buckets of dirt from our planter containers and dump it in this hole before they try to park the RV in that spot again. So I really wish they would park it somewhere else. But, I don't like the big dog being unleashed out there. Especially when they have leads and stuff to put her on and they just don't. I'm like, look, we can't be having problems. Put the dog on the lead. You already admitted yourself that the dog don't fucking listen. Especially when I go out back and the half-blind dog comes charging up to me. I'm like, school has started. The kids are gonna be traipsing through the backyard again. Because to them, it's a faster way to get to the house that's not on the edge of the road. We never okayed them to do that. We okayed them to come into the yard if something went over the fence, but that was like a brief thing and they would be near the fence line. But if we're gonna have like the RV out there and potentially the big ass half blind, half deaf dog, you know, electrical cords, hoses, all of the things. I really wants neighbor kids just walking through our yard to fall and trip, or for a big dog to decide that, hey, I suddenly don't like you. She's very intimidating too. Like, she just comes like woof, woof, and like comes running up on you. It's like, oh, I don't know what's happening. Okay. Okay. So I was thinking today we would probably get this section at least finished being filled in with our black fluff at the very least. So my time estimate of maybe a half an hour, a little off. Just a little bit. And I'll tell you, I was trying to paint last night. Ugh, it was so hot in here. Between it being so hot in here and my fan that I had on, the paint was drying within like 10 minutes of me putting it out on the dish I was using, and I was like, really? And I was like drying in my brush because it was a tiny brush, and I was like, ugh. Like every few minutes I had to keep rinsing it out. I was like, this is getting a bit stupid. Can't even do the damn thing that I need to do. I think I eventually ended up giving up. And just went and played Coral Island after a little while. I was like, it's too hot for this. It's too hot. I can't fight it anymore. Okay. I know I'm like a little excessively overlapping in that one section, but it was being a little silly. With it pulling a little bit in there. Right before we went live, about a half hour ago, we were showing at about 100 degrees with a feels like of 114. And I actually went and checked the temperature in Key West because I was curious. They were about 99 degrees with a feels like of 105, and I'm like, oh my god, it's hotter here. Like, why? Fucking ridiculous. That 105 with a sea breeze. might be a bit better. Although it might be a little more humid there, so I'm not sure which would be better. Definitely would have to be sunscreened up no matter where we're at outside today. Though, if we were in Key West, I would not be doing live stream. There are much better ways to spend a vacation. Like out exploring, sitting in the pool, shopping, even just window shopping, taking pictures, doing the things, just, you know, being out. Finding new things to do. I am kind of glad we're not streaming tomorrow, just with how bloody fucking hot it's gonna be the rest of the week. I was thinking about canceling today, but then I kind of was like, no, it's only for a couple of hours, maybe we can tough it out. Whew. Definitely tell school has started back up again in a lot of areas, though. It's been a lot quieter. And also people are rushing to get their last minute vacations in. Okay. So we've got just this little bit left over here. Okay, just a little bit of water dabbed on the hand there and spread out so it's not too wet. So we're not looking for it to be soaking wet, just enough to kind of dampen. Getting this put into here. Like, for some reason, when we fill in a large area with the black fluff, it feels a little bit more satisfying than when we're just filling in with the other colors on their own. I don't know, something about it just filling the space. I guess maybe because we're seeing the light gray background be swallowed up a bit more. I don't know, maybe it's just the contrast. And that's kind of what gives it a little bit more of a satisfying feel. I'm not entirely certain. Okay, so now grab our next bit here. Okay. See about getting this guy all tucked in. I didn't do any video editing last night. It was so hot in here. I was kind of afraid it would push everything over the breaking point. I was like, yeah, let's not. Ended up doing some dishes last night instead of the husband. Because he's like, it's too hot. I'm like, sweetie, this is nothing. It's gonna be worse tomorrow. He's like, well, I'll do the dishes when I get up in the morning. I'm like, there's no guarantee you're gonna be up in the morning. It's cooled off a bit right now. I need plates for tomorrow. I can't hang my hat on that you're gonna have them done. Because we have 2 plates left. And I really don't want to have to cancel my stream because I had to go do dishes before dinner. So, in the peak time of the day. So, one of us has to do them. It was actually cooler in the kitchen than it was in our room, even with my hands in hot water. Okay. Momo just popped in. I have no idea how long he was standing next to me. I heard a little tiny whine. And when I turned around to see what he was whining about, I was like, oh, I didn't hear you come in. And he turned around and left. And I was like, okay. I guess I might have to take him out. I really don't want to take him out because it's a bazillion degrees outside. he's looking for Russell, to be perfectly honest. Oh, that's interesting. The feels like has gone down 2 degrees. Interesting. Sort of unexpected. Okay, so this edge is going to be a little wobbly in this part. It's the only way I can describe it. But we can clean it up just a little bit with our scissors when it comes time to trim the edges. So we're getting there. Be moving on to start our waves here soon. Just have to get this last little bit worked in here. Hope you guys are okay with just the one light on today, because whew. That's all you're getting today, sorry. Just the one light. Too hot for the other lights right now, and we can see okay. This light's pretty bright. I mean, technically I have 2 lights on. I have my little desk light on that I always have on. Just a little tiny LED thing that like never puts out that much heat, so I usually always leave it on because I don't like being in the complete darkness in here. Especially with the animals, I like to know who's fucking about. Who I have to yell at when I hear stuff fall. So it's always a bit more helpful. Oh, dropping stuff. Don't go away, Fluffids. We need you. Alright. So we'll get this guy tapped into here. So we've only got this last little bit here. Let's just have a few more pieces of the black floofs to put in here. Okay. So hope everybody's doing alright. I hope your Mondays got off to a decent start. I know Mondays can be tough no matter what day is actually your Monday. I had 2 Mondays when I worked at the craft store, and that was terrible. Absolutely terrible. So when I worked there, I worked actual Monday, right? And then I worked Wednesday. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So having Monday on Monday and then another Monday on Wednesday. Actually, I had 3 Mondays, really. Well, no, I guess 2 Mondays, because Monday was like my Friday, I suppose. It was shit no matter what, because I had to work the weekends. Because of doing register, settling, and cash office stuff on the weekends. So I had to do that, right? But if you didn't work the weekend, when they had their sale on Sunday nights that they had every so often, every couple of months, it was kind of like they asked for volunteers, but it was expected that the 9-to-5ers were gonna work it. And like if you're like, oh, I can't, it's like, what do you mean you can't? You need to be here, kind of thing. And it's like, no, I can't. I've had plans for months. And it was really, like, a lot of them, you could tell they were like, fuck this noise coming in on a Sunday night at 6 p.m. They had to be there at like 5 to start setting up. And then, a lot of the kids worked the weekend, so they couldn't ask the kids to stay, so I lost like 2/3 of the Sunday staff that had to leave at like 6, 5:30, something like that, as we were doing register transitions and stuff. And it's like, go, get the fuck out of here, run while you can. I'm like, well, I need to buy some stuff for school. And I'm like, well, then go hide in the break room, or take your work shirt off or something, put a coat on, something, because you're gonna be eaten alive out on the floor. And it was busy. Not quite Black Friday busy, but it was busy. And I'm like, it's only a 25% off sale, you guys. But I want to use my 40 off coupon. You could have come in and used that like an hour ago and then just went back to shopping for the other stuff that you wanted at 25% off. No. And we couldn't just tell them no. We had to have our Telzons, our tracker guns, our scanny guns up at the front registers. We had like 2 or 3 of them. Sometimes there'd be a manager up there with one, just constantly walking the front, we had that many people that were like, I need to use my 40 off coupon. It's like, well, you're not getting 40 and 25. That's not happening. You're getting one or the other. And you could have come in like 20 minutes ago before the sale started and did this. Nope. Hi. Do you have to potty? Daddy's sleeping. Mommy, you take your potty? Oh, the head tilt when I scratch the one part of your head. Alright. Almost here. I'm gonna have to take a quick break just to take him potty since Russell is asleep, so I will be right back. Give me like 5-ish minutes. That'll be a good time to go potty yourselves. I'll be right back. Okay. Sorry. Didn't even pee that much. I don't know why he was so upset. I think he's just mad that Russell's not up. He's like, where's Dad? Yeah, so it was rough when they had those sales because the adults that worked all day on Sunday, it was the same thing with like the 9-to-5ers. It was almost expected for you to stay. And if you're like, yeah, no, I can't, I have to jet out of here no later than like 6:30, then they got mad at you. And you weren't seen as a team player. And I'm like, well, any other time I end up with accidental, or I'm going to end up with accidental overtime, or you asked me to stay and I'm gonna end up with overtime, you're screaming at me that we can't have overtime, and you're like kicking me the fuck out. So you're not being a team player either, so you know, what the fuck. I was so mad that one day. So yeah, so Sundays when they had those sales, I would end up working from 7:30 in the morning till, how long was the sale? I think the sale went to 9, because the store normally closed at 6 on Sunday. And by the time we got cleaned up, everybody out of the store, the employees doing their purchases, because they got to do their shit after we were closed, so that they could take advantage of the shit of, well, yeah, so employees could take advantage of the sale. It would be like 10:30 by time all of the zoning got done, facing all the products, cleaning up from the sale, all of the sale signs ripped down, all of the returns put back. Registers swept, counters wiped down, you know, bags refilled, everything ready to go for the next day. Although half the time I'd be so fucking pissed from the day, I'd be like, I'm not fucking filling these bags. Daytime person can. I'd just be like, fuck this shit. Fuck it. I don't care. I get paid enough for this shit. That was a long day. A long day. Because we had so much to deal with. You're trying to keep on track of minors breaks so we don't get in trouble. And and then dealing with everything else on top of it, and I need a price check. I need a price check. I have a void. I need change. I need a price check. This person has a purchase order. And they stood in my line, and I don't know how to do those. I'm like, you can't do those. you don't have the right codes to do those. They should have been told they had to come to customer service. And then I'm like, guys, I've been here since 7:30 this morning. My lunch was at like 1. It's now 7. I need to eat. I need food. Like now. Right fucking now. I don't need to hear you all 9 to 5ers bitching about your 15-minute break when you've been here for an hour. Okay? Just stop. I don't care. Figure it the fuck out and just tell me. But I need to eat. Retail's brutal. And everybody thinks working at a craft store is gonna be fun. And it had its moments, don't get me wrong. It's just those moments were pretty few and far between. But still retail. I mean, it was fun in the respect that I got to see new stuff coming in. And the merchandisers were around putting it out, and it's like, oh, hey, what's this for? And once in a while, I could get off register during seasonal shift for a little bit when the assistant managers didn't want to deal with setting up the odds and ends for the seasonal aisles. So at AC Moore they always had these rolls of craft paper that we used more for store use than we sold. Pretty sure there was like boxes of it in the stockroom. And we were always store using them. Always. And we had to take double-sided Scotch tape and cover the sides, top, bottom, and some middle spots on the pegboards that the fixtures would hook into in the seasonal department, because there was there was lots of space sometimes in the background between stuff being on the shelves, awkward sizes, and then all of the ornaments and stuff, so you weren't just looking at ugly pegboard behind it, because the pegboards were in pretty rough shape. I don't know if they did this in all of the AC Moore stores, but we did it in ours. And you would take the white roll of craft paper and stick it to the double-sided Scotch tape that you just put up. And then we had to go and get some palette paper from the classroom. It was sold in books, kind of like tracing paper, or kind of like a sketchbook, but not. It was a hell of a lot thinner. There'd be like maybe 15, 30 sheets in a pack. It would be like on a tear-off thing. And so we had to go get that, and then we had to go and get whatever flavor of the season it was in paint. So if it was usually it was already in the classroom, it had already been written off and was being used for store use. So if it was Christmas, we'd grab like red and green. If it was Halloween or fall, we'd grab like some red, some orange, some yellow, then maybe just the teeniest bit of black. And then we had sea sponges, the big honking guys, not huge, but you know, size of your hand. And we'd have to grab a couple of those, and then we would sponge the paper backing. Oh, I actually did need that tire length. Alright, well, we'll grab that other piece in a minute. My bad. So, a lot of the times on the weekends, if the managers or store assistant manager, whoever was there, just did not want to deal with seasonal setup, or they were in a hurry, if it wasn't too busy, they'd be pulling me off register and making me go do the pegboard stuff. And I was fine with doing it. I would much rather do that all fucking day than deal with customer service up front. Tell you, those people doing returns are brutal. A lot of the time. Not all of them. But man, we had some doozies. And I just don't understand why people gotta be pissy to someone that you want to help you. Why? Do you not understand that this person is making the decision on whether or not your item gets returned? They could decide something's really wrong with it and they're not gonna allow it to come back. And make your life super difficult. Or they could really drag it out if you're being a real ginormous douche. And be like, yeah, I need to get manager approval. They will hold up their line. I'm telling you. The customer service person will hold up their line deliberately if you're being a douche, just to make you wait longer. If you're going to be a douche to them. I'll tell you right now. There were times where I probably could have executive decision to return, but somebody was being just enough of an asshat to me, or I'm like, you know, this is kind of in the middle of the road. I don't know if we really can. I mean, you don't have your receipt. Technically, we don't have to take it back without a receipt. We did take some stuff back without a receipt if it's scanned in our system, but you had to take it at 40% off because we couldn't prove if you bought it with a coupon. And of course, some people just lost their shit about that. And I'm like, we don't know if you used a coupon. That's why you're not getting full price back. If you swear you didn't use a coupon, go try to find your receipt. Like, then keep it and use it and don't get anything back. Like, I don't know. We don't have to do this. And it's going to go to a gift card. It's not going on any of your stuff because we don't even know if you fucking paid for this. You might have walked out of the store with it. Like, you know. Could have bought this at a fucking yard sale for like 10 cents. No. I would just be like, yeah, I need so-and-so to the front. One of the assistant managers. Just be like, yeah, what do you think about this coming back? And then sometimes I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. Like, you have no receipt. It's not coming up in our system. What do you want me to do? And then I said, well, I'm going to have to get a manager approval then. Sometimes we had to get the manager approval. And it was a nightmare. Alright, so we're going to advance the tutorial here a little bit. Okay, so he's starting to put in some waves here. It would be nice if they could do a wide shot. At least sometimes. So that we could get a better idea of this. So I'm just gonna kind of let this go for a minute so we can kind of figure out spacing here. So we are using that real light yellow. Kind of blending it in with our blue here. So this one he kind of took out that way, but I've got this sitting there. So I didn't see the point in doing the entire black canvas over here when we're gonna have stuff coming in on top of it. Ah! Damn it, YouTube. Sorry, we're not watching Bob's channel's ads because that's not going to do me any good. Oh, okay. So he's going to start doing the land in there, I guess. So we don't really get a fantastic shot of this, unfortunately. But, let's see what we can do here. Alright. Let's do a temperature check. It went back up a degree. I'm not surprised by that at all. Kind of surprised the husband's not up yet. Yeah. Too hot. Much too hot. Okay. So. We are gonna... Let's see. If we can pull this off. We've got a little bit of some spacing back there. kind of want this to be not quite even in there, but I don't want it too crazy big back there yet. Like, big isn't up in the air. That looks like that is attached. Grab our next piece here. A little bit of water. It's like a drop. Don't make this soaking wet. That's not at all what we're looking for. Not at all. Okay. So just kind of overlap that just a little bit. Don't want to go too crazy just yet. We're ended up overlapping a little bit our last like flat wave line. And that's okay. Just trying to figure out my best plan here. Alright, so just kind of work on getting this guy in. So it's going to be like the top edge. Gonna try to bring this side back down just a tiny bit. I don't want it down too far. Oh, sounds like him getting up now. Oh, he did message me. Alright, hang on, let me just see what he said. He must have just messaged me. Yeah, a couple minutes ago. Okay. Alright, we need just a little bit more of that. Don't need a... Ugh. I'm hot, so my hands are starting to sweat. So everything's like sticking to me. Stuff that I don't necessarily want to be sticking to me, so ugh. Okay. Aki! Alright. So just gonna kinda overlap that just a little bit. And we'll just kind of take this guy off of the edge here. I don't have a whole lot of pressure on this little strand here, but I don't want the needle to grab all of it. Because we don't necessarily need all of that taken off into there. Alright. So this is kind of where things are gonna get a little bit tricky. So that's like the top edge of that one, right? So now I need to start stretching out this section, and if we lose a little bit of it, we lose a little bit of it. Alright. Just want a little teeny tiny bit. Alright. So he kind of pulls it back down a little bit. Right? And then he's got some little wavy guys, and then he's got another little bit of a dark break in there. Now I'm not really sure where I want this guy to sit. I'm thinking maybe it's a little bit of right, maybe about here. We'll start to bring this guy. Now I don't want him to get too unruly here, so we do need to keep him somewhat in check. He can be a little wild on that top edge, but we don't want him like sideways from where we are. We want him to stay where we are. We don't want him suddenly doing like a 90-degree turn. That's not gonna help us. Not really. I'm just doing this for my own sake of spacing. If you would much rather do this one in first before you start this section, that's fine too. I don't always use the bit of water, but sometimes it does help, especially when it's this hot. And it's been helping quite a bit with the paint box. The paint box is a little more silky. It's a little more slippery. So it just kind of helps to hold on to it a little bit better. Now, if we accidentally clip into this one, that's okay. We can just add a little bit more of our color. So this is the acrylic yarn right here that we're using at the moment. This one is the paint box Simply Chunky. They have a Simply Super Chunky or a Super Simply Chunky. This is just the regular chunky. not the fancy chunky. Alright. And we'll get this all worked into here. And I don't want this to be like completely level. I want it to have a little bit of movement to it. But I also don't want it to be like a crazy amount of movement. That's kind of your call, I would imagine. It's what you want your water doing. Maybe you're doing a seascape on an alien planet and your water does go up and down, like your waves come in super skinny and tall. That's on you. Like Bob says, make it our own. Okay. And then we'll just grab... We really need a little piece. Like a super, super little piece. Just to kind of fill that guy in. He almost seems like he was doing it on a little bit of an angle, and maybe I should have been on a little bit more of an angle. I always have trouble with that, but is not one of my strengths, that's for certain. I probably should have just trimmed that guy, but there's so little of him left right in there. That's fine. Okay, pop you up. Alright, looking okay on the back. I'm gonna go ahead and turn our friend here. Okay, now this kind of lays on top of our other color, so I'm gonna close up our banana bag for the moment. The color is called banana cream, that's why I'm calling it a banana bag. Whew. Okay. Uh-oh. Clothespin's trying to eat my plastic bag here. Okay, so I need a little bit of our glue. This is way too much to start with, but okay. Now we would probably do a little bit better if this was a little bit more wispy, but I don't want it too wispy. Alright, so I'm gonna start in the middle here. Kind of want to attack this color under, just under our yellow color there. And I'm going to do a slight angle. Okay, so now I have to figure out how far down we're coming, right? So we need a little bit of that down slope break point between these two. Or at least that's the idea. Can we make it happen? We're trying. We're trying. Okay, now that one probably should have had a little bit more of an angle on him. Okay. Because I mean, this is a little bit thick in here. A little bit. Not tremendously so. Alright. Like, we still want some of the breaks for the shadows and stuff. So that's fine. I don't want it to be too solid in this section. Now, if you do get it a little more solidly filled than you were necessarily looking for, you could come back in with a little bit of your black and make any adjustments where you feel you need them. How'd everybody's weekend go? That end up working out okay? Did you do anything spectacular? Okay. So no guarantee we're going to be able to make this look 100% right, but, you know, we're trying. We're definitely trying. There you are. I was getting worried about you. You alright? I was like gonna come wake you up on purpose in a few minutes so you didn't completely fuck yourself over. You alright?
Yeah, just tired. Tired. Feel slightly shitty.
Well, you weren't vocalizing, so
sorry. I was just drinking. I think my allergies are acting up.
Well, yeah. They changed the heat warning to feels like of 120 for the next 3 days.
Oh, for the next 3 days, perfect.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. Because, of course they did. And that's Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that converts to Celsius, but it ain't pretty. And that's for certain. You don't. Oh, your cords are in front of her door?
Yeah.
When you come back in, could you make sure there's still water in that pot?
Yeah.
I got something cooking on the stove, like I said earlier. Okay. So we're trying to get our little, like, wave angle in here.
Jeez, at least it's a little dry heat right now.
Yeah, Momo wanted to go potty. He was upset he couldn't find you. He kept looking for you and then whining. I know it looks a little funny, but this is what Bob was doing, so. Alright, what time is it? I've got a few more minutes. I have some bruises on my arm and I don't know where they came from. They're only on the one arm, so I'm like thinking, well, was it when I was on the swings the other day? I'm like, they're like yellowy, so they're like fading. Okay. A bit of fluff just went flying by in the fan. I don't know where it went. It wasn't a big chunk, but okay, I guess. Because when we were on the swings, I had to like hug, well, when I was on the swings, I had to hug him. Because my hands were full. We'd gone to get some photos of downtown for me. So I wasn't sure if, I wasn't sure how out of date Google Maps was with the little Google car going through. And it was a few years out of date, so I knew some of the buildings had been renovated and the facades had been slightly changed. When we were down there, the shaved ice stand was actually open. We'd been trying to catch it open probably since like June. And it was proper shaved ice. It seemed like they were shaving it by hand almost. That's what it sounded like. Or it was just a very slow, deliberate machine. It did take them quite a while to do the orders. And Russell had to run into the grocery store for just a second, so I was sitting outside on the swings in the park next to it. I had my arms kind of around the chains because I had my cup in my hand. Flashlight on my other arm because I didn't know how dark it was going to be when we started making our way back. Okay. My hands are so sweaty. Oh, this is gross. It's gross because the fiber is sticking to my hands when I don't want it to. I'm gonna have to change the angle on that just a little bit. That seems a little too up and down there. Okay. Gross. I mean, it's different when it's just the water. And it's my palm and I'm expecting it, but when it starts trying to stick to my fingertips as I'm trying to place it, that's another thing altogether. Okay, so we're trying to work with angles, right? Because angles, brush strokes, if you're using paint, it all helps tell the story, right? So we're trying to keep with our angles a little bit. Like, we don't want it like super angled, but we want a little bit in there. Ugh. I hope it's cooler for next week's art session, because it's kind of hard to do this when stuff isn't sticking where I want it to. And I feel like everything is fighting me. Alright. I want to make sure that I'm trying to tack on to the bottom, or as close to the bottom as I can get, of our pale yellow in there. I mean, it won't be perfect. Or it might not be perfect. Don't really need to aim for absolute perfection here. You're gonna be here fussing for quite a while if you're trying to do that. Alright. So we're gonna snip that guy. We're just kind of making our way back this way. Oh, I get so nervous when I start to get itchy when it's this hot. Because I'm like, don't scratch it. Gonna get a heat rash. And those suck. But I'm also that person that will obsessively like rub a part of their skin without even realizing they're doing it. Sometimes. We'll get this guy. Just kind of want to go in around this, make sure everybody's still behaving. I mean, we can do a final pass on everything when we get done. The stuff could still kind of shift around a little bit between now and then. All right. I do think we are gonna end a few minutes early just because it's grossly hot in here. And I want to get this light off if I can, so I mean it's doing a little bit of heat, but not too bad. But we got our black finished being filled in down here, and now we are starting to put in our wave lines here. And so we're going to work on getting the blue finished filled in next Sunday, and then we'll come back in with our light yellow and kind of fill that in a little bit. We might hit this top edge with just a teeny tiny touch of white, maybe. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Oh, there's that bit of fluff that went flying. roll it up in a little ball and stick that over there so I don't lose it again. But yeah, I mean, it's not bad, not bad. Whew. Alright, let's see. I don't think we have anybody going right now. Nope, doesn't look like it. So we're just gonna go ahead and end that here. You guys try to stay cool. Let me see, let's see, what are we ending on? Up, feels like went back up to 114, so. Yep. It's gonna be a very toasty evening. You guys take care of yourselves. I will see you on Thursday for Coral Island. There's a chance we might do an extra Planet Zoo stream Wednesday night late, but I'm not going to guarantee that. It's just a maybe to see how I'm feeling and how the heat's doing. So enjoy your week. Make sure that you've got Twitter followed and all the socially things and notifications turned on here so that if I do go live extra, you will know. So until next time, guys, have a good one.